Hi folks, and welcome back to Flies You Must Have in Your Fly Box. So this week we're having a close look at the Muskins fly. So without further ado, let's get into it. The hook in the vise is a Hanak H200 barbless hook. This one's at size 14 and it's finished in black nickel on a heavy wire. The thread I'm going to be using today, and you won't be able to see much of it for the bobbin, but it's sumo thread from Trout line. It's black at 50 denier and it is a GSP thread. So as always with the black nickel hooks, we are going to get a tiny spot of super glue onto the shank, and this just prevents body rotation in the fly. And it's especially important with this pattern because it's not getting covered in varnish and it's not being secured by other materials. So getting a good bed onto the shank is really important. So I've got a bed of thread down. I'm now going to just use my blade to cut away the GSP. Next thing I want to do is tie in my wire rib. It's from Simplify. It's 0.1 millimeters and it's silver. So just grab a piece I've already been working away with, and I'm going to tie this the entire length of the body. It's super thin wire. And it's quite delicate actually at this sort of diameter. Now normally, the normal scheme of things, while I'm doing the YouTube videos, I would be tying on larger hooks, and the reason I do that is for demonstration purposes. When you're demonstrating flies to people, it's always easier if you tie on bigger hooks. But on this occasion, I'm at a bit of a rush. I'm going to be needing these flies come next week, so I'm starting to tie up a few flies for an actual event I'm doing. Now the next thing I want to do is tie in the body material, and what I'm using for that is some black pheasant tail. You can see this one's a bit worse for wear. There's not much good feathers left on it, but I can see the mites have been at it actually. I'm going to get rid of them feathers till I can see a straight fibre. I need to pick up another one of these soon, I think. Now I've cut off a chunk here, but it's too much, so I'm just going to come in with my fingers and take away a couple of fibres. So what I've got left here is about 3 fibres. Now a tip off that you might like is the tip here needs to go, so I'll just take that away. It's much better working with a strong fibre at the end here rather than catching in at the tips. Just makes it a lot easier. Now the Muskins is a fantastic fly, especially early doors, when the smaller black buzzers are starting to come off. Now we are still into March, and on the small still waters the flies are starting to come off, but they are quite small. So I thought I would tie some Muskins down at size 14. It is a little bit fiddly, but it is worth the effort is what I would say. Hence it's being included in the flies you must have in your box. So I'm just going to catch that pheasant tail in my hackle pliers. Now I'm just taking my time. When you're tying down to the smaller sizes, everything's much more delicate and you need a lot less materials than you would think. And I think a lot of the time, especially on YouTube, you see tyers tying flies that they look fantastic. Some of them are absolutely amazing actually, but they're not realistic. You know, not everybody fishes with size 10s and size 12 hooks. Lots of people get the size of the fly right down, and very often when you're at a still water fishery and you're not getting any success, the answer is often to scale down the size of the fly. Not always, but often I would say. It's a good starting point when you're scratching your head. So I'm going to grab my wire rib now, and I'm looking for around 4 turns to come up the body here. Nice and gentle. 4 neat turns, and then once I've got past that 4 neat turn, stage, I'm able to just wrap up the wire willy-nilly. It's going to be covered up, so get a few turns of my thread. Now this wire is super delicate, but I am still going to keep tension on my thread and helicopter it away. Don't be tempted to yank at things when you're tying very small flies like this, because very often if you've not secured the material properly, you'll just undo all your good work. So next then, we're going to tie our thorax cover in, and again I'm going to come back to my pheasant tail here. I've got some fibres down the bottom here I'm going to take off. Would have been an idea to prepare this before I started, so I'm not holding you up. Now again, you see it's very difficult to cut what I need. This is far too much. So I'm just going to take away a fair chunk of that. I'll put it to the side because it will do for the body of another fly. Now on this occasion, what I'm going to do before I tie it in, I'm going to just square up the ends here. And then I can dress it up to the shank. Now I'm catching it in just on my side, and what happens when I bring my thread over the top here, it's rolling those fibres right up onto the top of the shank, which is where I want it to be. Now I'm going to just check my proportions here, because there's going to be quite a lot going on at the front of this fly, so you need a decent thorax area. So I've got that in place. Just get a nice bed of thread for the rest of my materials to go down on. Now the red, you can use holographic red. I'm going to use mirror tinsel here at 0.8mm. Again, it's a Simplify product and it's in red. It's a flat red. I prefer this for the Muskins over the holographic. But that's just personal preference. You can use whatever you like. Green works well actually, and pearl. Even some Mirage tinsel, I've tied up some with Mirage that work extremely well. So I've caught that in there. Now what I'm looking to do is get just a band of this, and this is the perfect width of red. That's why I like it so much. It's just ideal. So I'm going to get 2 wraps on, and then I can bring this up and trap it in with my thread. Now I'm keeping hold of the tinsel, and I'm making sure my thread's coming towards the eye of the hook on each turn while I'm securing this. And what I'm going to do is get my thread to the front, get a few wraps in, then I can come in and remove the excess. Now this is a fly I've not had for long. It was kind of a close hold secret amongst the competition fraternity for a while, and it took a while to filter down to my fly boxes, but since it has, it's been fantastic. Next then, I want to tie in my breathers, and what's changed the game for me as regards to tying in breathers is this material here. It's from Uphaven, and it's the Uphaven breather yarn in white, and I'll just show you. It comes on a card and it's super thin, but it's just perfect for tying in breathers for buzzers, various other dry fly patterns, but it's absolutely brilliant. So what I'm going to do with this is I've cut about an inch off, just over an inch actually. I'm going to slip it in behind my thread here, and I'm going to pull it up onto the shank of the hook like so. Now it might look a little long, and that's on purpose because when I come to trim it, it's going to help. So now I've got it on the shank, I'll get a couple of turns just to hold that into place, just adjust it how I want it. And what I'm going to do is get a few turns in behind the material, like so, and then I'm going to start to get the other one into position. And what I'm doing is I'm doing a kind of, you'll not see for my stupid big fat fingers, but I'm doing a kind of figure of 8 over this winging material here. And I can see that's not sitting quite where I want it. It is a bit of a fiddly job, so to speak, so please do forgive my fingers. And then once I've got that to roughly how I want it, it's not quite there. I think I need another couple of turns. Oh, didn't like that. Does need another couple of turns just to hold that back away from the red. What I don't want is my little red hotspot there to be completely obliterated. I don't want it sticking out as much as it is, to be honest, but I do want a little bit of that red showing through once I start tying in the thorax here. So next I'm going to use some Highland peat. This is trout stalkers. The dubbin's no longer available, so what I would suggest is a replacement, because people often say, oh, you're using materials we can't get a hold of anymore, and I appreciate that, but you've got to appreciate that I've been doing this for about 35 years plus, and I've collected a large amount of materials over the years, and a lot of these companies that start up, they just stop producing stuff, and subsequently I'm left with things that I love using, but you can't get anymore. So there is a company called Kindale Fly Fishing. I've got no association with them, but they do a selection of dubbins that are very close to Andrew's Scruffy dubbin. So if you want to get something similar, have a wee look at the Kindale range. Now what I'm going to do is I only want a couple of turns in behind my breathers here. No more than 2. I'm just making sure that everything's sitting right. So excuse me, it looks a bit awkward, but trust me, that the end result makes it worth the while. So I've got that up and out of the way. The next turns are now going to come in front of the breathers, and then I can bring my thread to the front of the hook. Then I'll just separate them breathers out. That's looking dandy. Well, I think it's looking dandy. You let me know in the comment section what you think. Probably made it look like a circus show, this one, but I just see I've got a strand trapped in there. So I've got everything where I want it, and what I want to do next is bring over my thorax cover. Again, just don't put too much pressure on the thorax cover as you're dragging it over the top. It'll just cause you issue. So I'm going to get 1, 2, 3 turns, and I'm going to lift the remainder, and I'm going to get 1, 2 turns just right nestled up to the hook eye. And what I'm going to do at this point is I'm going to stick a half hitch for belt and braces, but I've got a bit of work to do at the front here. So I've put a half hitch in, because what I don't want to do is my thread dropping over the eye and all that work you've just done coming undone. So next we've got to come in with our scissors. I'm going to grab my thorax cover. I'm going to cut it as neat as I dare. I don't want it to ping backwards. Now the breathers, and the reason I left it at the length, I want to cut in pretty neat. For a size 14, it's like a suggestion of breathers. So I'm cutting in pretty neat there. And then all I need to do to finish the fly off is get a little bit of varnish onto the thread. Now this is a great wee fly if you're allowed to fish a team of flies at your local still water. You can fish a little team of these and it will bring you great success. 3-turn whip finish, tighten everything up there. Then I can come in and simply remove my thread. Or you could even fish it on a washing line. Now because it's quite a no, it's not bushy, but it's got the breathers. It's got lots going on actually with this, and I will scruff this out later, the thorax area, and it will sink really slowly in the water column because the profile doesn't suit it sinking fast. But there we go, there's the Muskins fly. Thanks very much for watching. Don't forget to leave the video a like, and I'll see you all in the next one.